we've had just kind of a crazy night around here.
We really have, and we've been tracking storms all afternoon and evening. Some fireworks shows have been delayed, but most got off without a hitch. We've also been watching the spring fire at our Viero camera that's located there, and as this camera looks down toward the ground, it's looking at the fire that's encroaching on the camera and its frame. So we're watching this very closely as well. Just kind of wanted to give you an update here. We've been tracking this all day as that fire gets closer and closer to our camera. 93 degrees our afternoon high today here in Denver, 80s across the plains, 70s and 80s for the mountains, and triple digits for southeastern Colorado. Now the storms are going to be moving out as we head through the rest of the night. Mild temperatures this evening, as I'm sure you've experienced out and about. Temperatures have mostly been in the 70s and 80s, and we'll have storms again tomorrow, why today was a first alert action day, and tomorrow will also be a first alert action day as those thunderstorms are going to affect us again tomorrow. 67 degrees outside right now, our humidity at 52%, and our winds at 13 miles an hour. And right now we have 60s from Dacono to Longmont, 69 in Aurora, and 64 in Castle Rock. We're still tracking some thunderstorms here across the Front Range and the plains. We had kind of an upswell of more storminess into the last hour or so, especially down to the south toward Lone Tree. Most of the heavy storminess has moved out toward I-70 to the east, but here in Denver things have dried out. The same thing around Boulder, where we did have a storm fire up in the last half hour. Here in New Raymer, though, a lot of lightning associated with this one storm cell. It has off and on had severe thunderstorm warnings, but for right now it does not. And then toward Akron, this storm cell as well, moving off to the northeast at about 30 miles an hour. Also strong thunderstorm activity down toward Colorado Springs, up toward Calhan. And we could see some hail with that, along with the lightning, of course. So an interesting evening for us. Now tomorrow we're expecting more thunderstorm activity, which is why we have a flash flood watch in here from Colorado Springs to Trinidad. This is in effect for tomorrow for the storms that will move through and potentially flood the burn scars down through these areas. So that's going to be an issue. We also have dense smoke advisories toward Eagle and Aspen and down into southwestern Colorado with the fires that are burning at this point. So a lot going on. In through tonight, things will clear out. We're looking good for tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow afternoon, we see another onslaught of moisture into the day. Lows by tomorrow morning will be in the 50s to around 60 degrees. Isolated storms, most of those moving out throughout tonight. And our hour-by-hour forecast keeping us mostly in the 60s into early tomorrow morning. We'll officially get down to about 60 degrees, but it won't be quite as warm tomorrow afternoon. And once we see the thunderstorm activity later in the day, our temperatures will drop. So some rain-cooled air here for the metro. Isolated storms possible not only for the Front Range and the plains, but for the entire state. So we're really going to keep an eye out for those storms tomorrow during the day. Highs will be in the mid-80s here for the Front Range. A little cooler out toward Evergreen and Broomfield. 81 for Elizabeth and 82 for Castle Rock. By tomorrow afternoon and evening, we'll see these storms here for the Front Range all the way toward Colorado Springs and Pueblo, and then firing up as they move east and then move on out of the way for the evening. So these should start up tomorrow afternoon and then last in through the evening hours. As for our 7-day forecast, you see that we'll have highs in the 80s tomorrow, 90 on Friday, 95 on Saturday, and 97 on Sunday. It'll be a hot weekend for us, and then next week we stay in the 90s with partly cloudy skies, and we'll be right back.